Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I'm going to show you a card that we made at stamp class this past weekend, where we featured the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. Now the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper was first introduced by Stampin' Up! Last holiday season in the 2019 catalog, holiday catalog, and it was such a favorite that it was reintroduced this current season in the 2020 holiday catalog. But it will be going away after this catalog, and as a matter of fact, I just got word that on Tuesday, December 8th, Stampin' Up! Is running its end of the year clearance, and items in the current holiday catalog are on sale. Some of them are on sale, some of them are just being discontinued. But there is a list on the Stampin' Up! Website, and I'll put a link to my store in the description below where you can log right into it. But this Feels Like Frost paper is going to be offered at 50% off come Tuesday, as is this beautiful embossing folder, which is the, what's it called? Winter Snow embossing folder. I'm not sure if this one is 50% off. It might be 20% off, but it is not carrying over, so you might want to grab that while you can. So the papers, let me give you a quick look at them. The papers, one side have these beautiful nature scenes, and they are actual pictures. They're not drawings of pictures. These are actual photographs. So you can see, I have my trees upside down there. You have blues and purples and some neutral colors and pinks, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. But that's not all this paper has to offer. If you turn it over, you have a set of gorgeous foil papers, and you see you have this holly, you have some stripes, you have polka dots, you have snowflakes. It's just absolutely stunning. Now I will tell you that the paper comes in a package of 48. This is more than one package. I'm using this for my Christmas cards this year, so that's why I had to buy extra, and I did need multiples of the same sheet for the ladies so they could all make the same card at class. So I did stock up, and therefore I'm going to use this for my holiday Christmas cards. But back on track here. This is the card we're going to make today, and I'm using this one as one of my Christmas cards. I send out a lot of Christmas cards, and I'm using this one because it's super easy to make, and it doesn't look like it's super easy to make. The recipient is going to think, wow, that took a long time, but it really, really didn't. So without further ado, and put that aside, and I'll show you what we need. So I have a piece of thick Whisper White. This is cut 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it's scored at 3. So I have a flap that's 3 and a flap that's 5 1/2, which is your typical A2 size. Then I have 2 pieces of Seaside spray, and one of them is cut at 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, and the other is cut at 4 1/8 by 2 3/8. And then I have a piece of Designer Series paper. It's just a snippet from the whole sheet, and I'll show you how I came up with this. And this is cut 4 by 2 3/4. So the first thing we want to do is cut our Designer Series paper from the big sheet, and I'm going to show you a little trick that I use. Hold on one second. My little sheet is missing from my desk. Well, what I did was, I knew this is the piece of Designer Series paper, and it is 6 by 6. And I knew that I wanted a piece of Designer Series paper that would ultimately be 4 by 2 3/4. But I knew also exactly what I wanted, what portion of this design I wanted on my card. And I wanted this section right here. So I took a piece of window sheet. Oh, here it is. I took a piece of window sheet and I cut it to the same dimension of what I wanted my end result to be. So here's my window sheet that's cut 4 by 2 3/4. And then I decided where I wanted, what part of this design I wanted on my card. And I decided I wanted this corner right here. I mean, if I wanted more of these taller trees, I would have just shot it over here. But I wanted this. I wanted a little bit of the small trees and a little bit of the tall trees. And then with a pencil, I use a mechanical pencil because they have a nice thin line. I just traced that and then I cut that out. Now this one, because it was right in the corner, it's kind of easy. I could have just shot up right up here and then cut the top off. But let's say I wanted this section here and I didn't want as much snow. I wanted more sky. I would just mark this off with my pencil and then cut it and obviously erase any little mark you have. So that's how I did this. Now, when I cut this piece off, obviously I can make another one there. My paper ends here. This is not wasted. This side is just old sky with snow in it. If you turn that over, here's what's cut out of it. You're gonna have all of this left over, and that's beautiful to put on accents for other cards. Do not throw that away. Even though this side looks like you're not gonna do anything with it, you're definitely gonna use the other side. So that's how I came up with this section. So now, let me show you. Grab my Big Shot. I forgot to bring it over. Hold on one second, I'm coming back. I apologize, I totally forgot to bring my Big Shot over. So, the first thing we're gonna do is attach this, mount this piece onto our Seaside Spray, the larger piece of our Seaside Spray, which is 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. And there's a small little border there. Okay, attach that. And now I'm going to attach this to my card front. And again, a little bit of Stamp and Seal, and it goes off on this flap right here. Small border. I'm into small borders these days. Card is half done already. So now I'm going to bring in the other Seaside Spray, which is 4 1/8 by 2 3/8. And now I'm going to bring up my Big Shot. And I have my platform. I have my bottom plate. And I'm going to bring in this beautiful embossing folder. It's called the Winter Snow, and there's a picture of it. It's not a 3D embossing folder, but it is phenomenal. It's absolutely gorgeous. It makes a beautiful impression. So I'm going to put my piece of paper in my folder, and then I'm going to run that through my Big Shot. Bring it back out. And here is that. Isn't it beautiful? I hope you can see this. The detail is just phenomenal. And now on this one here, on my sample, I used white seam binding. I ran out of white seam binding. It's on my order that's going in on Tuesday. So I have this polka dotted. This was available last year. It's Whisper White, and it was called Polka Dot Tulle. And I think that looks nice too. So until my order comes, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to just make a knot. I'm making so many that I'm not going to do a bow. I don't want to have to fuss with individual bows. I'm just going to do a knot, and they're easier. They take up less time, and that's what I'm all about this Christmas, saving time. So now I'm going to take my Stamp and Seal again, and I'm going to attach this piece to the right side of the card. Now, this Seaside Spray and this matte Seaside Spray are the same size. So when I come in and attach this down, I want the top of this one and the top of this one to line up. I want them to flow seamlessly. And there is a little border around it all. And I'm going to press. And I'm going to bring in my shears, trim my tails, and there's the card. And now we just have to stamp the inside. And what I'm going to use for the inside is the stamp set. Oh geez, here it is. A Wish for Everything. This is a 2-pack set, and it also has coordinating dies, so you can mix and match and come up with lots of different sayings. So for instance, you have Happy Halloween, and you die cut the Halloween. You have Valentine's Day, you have Father's Day, Mother's Day, New Year's Day, St. Patrick's Day. So you mix the die cuts with all of these single words. But I'm not using that part of the stamp set today. I'm using the one that has the inside sentiments. And I'm using this one here, A Merry Little Wish for Lots of Joy This Season. And I chose that because the inside of my card is kind of small, so I do want to have enough space to write a little note, but I also want to have a nice sentiment in it. So since my paper is Seaside Spray, I'm going to use my Seaside Spray ink, and I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to drop my sentiment right here in the middle. Make sure I have this going the right direction. How many times have you stamped your card and you had it upside down? And there it is. After you have all of your cutting done and you're going assembly line, this card is so easy to make. I just can't believe how easy it is. So here we are. Here we have this one with the seam binding, which I do like much better, a little better than this polka dot, but I think the polka dot will do until I get my seam binding. So there are the 2 different cards. Now don't forget to hop on to Stampin' Up's website on Tuesday, December 8th for the end of the year holiday clearance, where you can get some great deals. I always use that those sale occasions to stock up on my ribbon. I love ribbon, as you can tell if you follow me. There's ribbon on almost all of my projects, so I have to stock up when they're on sale. So there are the cards. If you have any questions at all about the project or any of the products I used, please contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you back here with another card using this beautiful Designer Series paper. Bye-bye.